PH1, you still in there? Helicopter base for PH1.
Who you calling, squad?
The helicopter.
89 David, your second number is 06357.
7389, David.
89 David.
I'm sorry, I got stopped. Can you, give me those three numbers real quick?
Chicago 06350 and 06357. 2 units and 25. 890.
Deer clear?
It is now. Stop the simultaneous. Is all yours.
Sorry about that. We just need two numbers, upper and lower for, Howard Redline.
Take event 06367 and 06369.
7386 boy.
7386 boy.
Good afternoon, squad. Can I have an upper and lower? I'm at Clarkson Lake, Ridge.
Alright, Clarkson Lake is going to be the blue line. You want the blue line or you want to stay the lake?
Sorry, blue. Clarkson Lake. I'm sorry about that.
Alright, take 06378 and 06386.
Can you repeat that one more time?
Sure, take 06386 and 06383. Nah, no it ain't. 06378, 06378 and 06386.
386 boy again.
Hello 86 boy, how are you doing today? How can I help?
Well, not too bad. I had to step outside to get those numbers. It's a lot of static. So can I have them again?
Sure, 06378, 06378 and 06386. 06386. Yeah, nowadays.
Thank you, well, I appreciate it.
The units and 15 units on citywide, pressure with a gun, 8 North Long, still coming in as details to follow. Nothing further, District 12. District 15, Zone 12.
7386, David.
86, thank you.
Can I get an upper and lower for Charlotte Red Line, please?
We have 06469 and 06470.
Thank you. 3211.
3211, yeah.
Can I get a number for Skyway Tower check?
I forget that number, 06481.
Our units is 20 and the Seaway. We're getting a shot fired to get over at Fairwood and Washtenaw. Fairwood caller says one gunshot to his windshield from a known offender that lives on the block. That's what it is on left here.
7387 Adam.
87 Adam.
Squad, Blue Line Logan Square stop. Can we get two event numbers for the platform in the station?
Alright, take it back, 06499 and...
What's up, everybody? Happy Christmas Eve. Merry Christmas. It is 3:45 p.m. It's Christmas Eve, December 24th, 2025. We are going southbound on Michigan Avenue from the beginning of it, from Oak. We're going to go all the way down Michigan, then we're going to go up State Street. We might go down Clark. We might go check out the Fulton Market, and that'll be it for today. It's going to be a quick one. I need to get a little bit of rest. I haven't been sleeping yet. There was a lot of news today, so I didn't get to sleep. We had a mass shooting down on 70th in Halston. It's a gang killing. 4 guys got shot, 1 dead. We had, unfortunately, we're actually right down the street from here. A young man fell or jumped from a building here. So we don't know what happened because he went from balcony to balcony. So I don't know how that worked, how that happened. I know somebody that knows the guy. But so that has happened down the street here. Hopefully we have a quiet Christmas Eve and a Christmas. So that's what I hope, but we'll see how that goes. So we're just going to see what's going on downtown. As you see, there isn't that many people here. You know, it's empty. I mean, there's not that many people here. So there's more people here on a rush hour day. It's funny because whenever I do these videos, people always have an excuse. Yesterday's video, it was closed and was dark and it was weird. It was 50 degrees when I was videotaping yesterday, and they said it was cold. It didn't make no sense. And then it was dark, and it was Christmas Eve, something, I don't know what, weird. It was the wrong side of the river. It was all kinds of things. It was so whatever. We're in the middle of the Mag Mile. As you see, there's no one walking there. There's no one walking, right? There's no one walking, right? There's nobody. Now you say, oh yeah, there's some people walking around there. That's two people. That is. You're in the middle of the third largest city of the nation, of the United States of America, their shopping district on Christmas Eve, and it's kind of weird. You know, it's strange. It's funny. These guys were commenting on one of my videos from yesterday, and then you start looking, you see Wheaton, you see Glen Ellen, what was the other one? Wheaton, Glen Ellen, and some other, I don't know what other suburbs were, Glenview or something like that. I'm like, what are you commenting? What are you commenting on my pages about downtown Chicago at 4 at night and 5 at night? What are you talking to me about? To a dude that lives in this city all his life? What are you talking to me from Wheaton? And you're actually typing from Wheaton, right? It's kind of weird. Wheaton and something else. I don't know. Some weird suburbs. It's kind of Barrington there, and what's the N1? Naperville. All these weird suburbs are commenting, talking about Chicago, and I don't know what I'm talking about. It's kind of weird. It's kind of like, to me, it's kind of sad that you would be that kind of a. You'd have that kind of a mental deficiency, thinking that it's weird. It's like, why you play acting, right? I don't get that. Be yourself. Say you're from Naperville or Barrington or Wheaton or wherever you're from, or Crystal Lake. Who cares? I don't care. I know all of those places. I've been to those places. I could care less, right? I go to Kankakee. I know people out in the country. I know a guy that lives in the desert in Arizona, in the desert. There's no one around him. There's no one around him for 20 to 30 miles. He has a cabin in the middle of the desert. So I know those types of people too. I know homesteaders up in the upper peninsulas and all of that stuff. So wherever you live, it doesn't matter to me. It doesn't mean anything. And then say it and be proud of where you live. Like I said, I'm proud of Chicago. That's why I'm doing these videos, right? There you go. There ain't that many people here walking. You see that there? Merry Christmas, Elizabeth. There's no one walking here, man. Look across. There's no one there. That whole sidewalk is empty there. The whole sidewalk's empty. Now you know what now the comments are gonna be this. Oh, it's Christmas Eve. So yesterday it was before Christmas Eve. Monday it was the Monday before the day before Christmas Eve. Friday it was the Friday before the days of the days of Christmas Eve. Last Thursday it was Thursday. It's always an excuse with people. It is what it is, right? Whether it's crime, the economy, people don't like coming down here anymore. Whatever it may be, it is what it is. It's a fact, right? And here's the thing. Those of us who live in Chicago and love this city, we need to understand these things and figure out what we need to do to fix it. I mean, one of the things that I've been talking about is clearly we have to drop the taxes. The taxes need to be reduced, right? We need to reduce the taxes. What I'm going to do is probably listen to the radio calls for a few more minutes till about 4. We'll listen to 4 o'clock news. Like I said, we're going to do a couple of runs here and see what kind of crowds we have. But there's no crowds here. It's empty. It's barely, there's no, you can see the spaces. Look at that, the spaces in the sidewalk there. I mean, you can say, oh, I see somebody here. Here, I'll show you one more thing. See that there? That's Saks Fifth Avenue. Why don't you count how many people come in and out of the store? One guy just went in, right? Just one. A guy just went into that store. One, now a lady with a bag, and 4 other people. So there's not even traffic going in and out of those stores there. You see that there? That's Saks Fifth Avenue. There's no one going in and out. there's no one here, right? I mean, there's some people walking around, but it's not holiday traffic, so that's why I guess. Let me listen to some radio calls.
But is that train coming to the station on the north or the south side?
This is going to be a northbound train. It bypassed 35th Street, so it should be approaching Cermak. If it hasn't already left, so it should be pulling up the road soon. Check the car. Supposed to be a male and female fight. The female's wearing a green hoodie, gray pants. She should be using this spot. The guy's wearing all black.
Copy that, bro.
And I'm sorry, what unit's going to check for this?
Keep up with the trends, things rolling. It's leaving Harris and now approaching Jackson rather long.
They passed Roosevelt.
It already did. I was playing catch up.
You had one job. Anybody that stayed late? Anybody that stayed late in the red line? Stayed late in the red line. Stayed late.
7383, we don't have anyone that stayed late. And you said it already passed Jackson?
Yeah. Anybody at Chicago on the red line? I'm pretty sure nobody at Grand. Anybody at Chicago on the red line?
Don't have
6 David. But it's at Jackson now.
Alright, 86 David. This is now your assignment. Okay, whenever the train pulls in there, the second car is a northbound train. I'm assuming if it's not the next train, it's the train immediately after that. But yeah, second car, female green hoodie, guy all black. Supposed to be fighting the second car. Just check, see if you see him, if not, give me a call, okay?
Bad 4. 83 David, Eddie.
I'm sorry, I got 2 units coming in.
83 David, Eddie.
I'm sorry, 73, 80.
See that?
You got a lot of stats. You gotta go outside.
Look at the crowd. There ain't no crowds here. Look at that. This whole block is empty there, man. This is Michigan Avenue, by the way. This ain't South State Street. We're on Michigan Avenue. We're not on South State Street here. There you go. There's one guy right there. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And what is there? 7, 8 people there? That's it.
83 David.
73, 83 days.
It's a nice day. It's 42 degrees. It ain't cold out.
That's not working. I can't copy 83 days.
Yes, Christopher.
You see, there's
Roosevelt.
no traffic, no cars. It's just bottlenecked over there from the Ubers and the buses.
Number 06801 89 Adam.
Jackson, upper and lower, please.
06814 and 06815.
7386. Eddie.
86 Eddie.
I try to see checking how long you get to if I know if it's upper and lower.
You said Howard?
That's Howard.
I got 06824 and 06825.
7384 Adam.
7384 Adam.
Can I get 2 numbers, 95th and red line, 1 north, 1 south?
Sure, take advantage 06829, 06830.
This is 12 to the way that a person with a knife at 1227 West Washburn is 1227 West Washburn. Callers may consider possibly domestic related prisoners' names involved. Nothing further. Zone 3, radio clear.
7386 David.
7386 David.
19 boy on that fight, and then can we get upper, lower, all at it?
That event number, in case you needed it for the fight, was 06386. I'm sorry, no it wasn't. It's nothing that. I'm sorry, it's 06653. 06653. And 86 boy, where you at? You at Chicago?
7386 David.
Okay. Alright, well then, David. Take event number 06873. 06-874.
That's what, thank you.
Make sure driver LaSalle, I got a traffic control request. One call to check. Make sure driver LaSalle. There's like Nissan broke down at the start of the ramp.
7397 Charlie.
97 Charlie now.
Service check for American Red, please.
Look at that number 06915.
3214.
3214, go.
Can you say something about the LaSalle entrance ramp or something like that?
So that's
Yeah, we already called you today.
that's the Mag Mile. That was the more high-end shopping district in the old days. Chicago was always divided up into multiple parts. Working people, high-end people, parties. Streeterville was always the party device place, right? It always was from the beginnings of when it started by the guy that it's named after, Streeterville. So now we're in the south end of the downtown area. This is Michigan Avenue South, right? South of the river. This was hotels. There was a lot of hotels here. There was a lot of bigger theaters here. Auditorium theaters all along here. We have a symphony over here. There's a whole bunch of them. One of the biggest theaters is over here. It's down by the Roosevelt University. They have the biggest theater in there, seated theater in the history of the United States at one time. When it was built, was the biggest theater there. They actually had a convention in there. They had a presidential convention right over here. So this was a theater area and hotel area. And then there's entertainment. There's vaudeville, all kinds of other theaters inside the loop. Plus, it's a business commerce, business and commerce, and also department store. So it had multiple functions. Plus, it was a trading place at one time. We have a lot of trains that come in and out of downtown here. So it was trading, it was selling, it was doing business, it was doing commerce, it was doing entertainment, tourism, then government functions, right? Conventions, those kinds of things. So it's a misnomer to think that Chicago downtown is like some suburban strip mall, right? That closes at 5 o'clock. A lot of the transplants that come into Chicago, and that's why they talk a certain way. Oh, it's 5 o'clock, it's 6 o'clock. They're from the suburbs. They're from Iowa or Kansas or wherever they're from, Idaho. I don't know where these people are coming from, right? But it's weird when you see these comments and you're like, what are you talking about? Downtown's a 24/7 place and has multiple functions, right? There even was light manufacturing here in downtown. Really in the early days, the West Loop there, now that was light manufacturing and warehousing at one time. There's factories that were little south of downtown, factories, actual manufacturing places. Bloomer Chocolate Factory that was closed down last year and now is being cleaned out of the tent encampments. That was manufacturing down that Kinsey corridor, the Hubbard corridor. That's manufacturing over there. The Fulton Market District, that was warehousing, manufacturing, light manufacturing, mid manufacturing, right? And when you started getting a little bit bigger as a city, the companies started getting bigger. And you had to have more spaces like 39th Street, the CMDs, the Kinsey corridors, the Costner area out there on Diversey, right? Division, Grand, right? If you can start looking around the city, you can see how it develops. So when somebody, here, these are big hotels here. Those are big hotels that are here. There ain't nobody walking here. You see that there? There ain't nobody walking. 10 years ago, this place would be packed with people. 10 years ago, even maybe 5 years ago, maybe a little bit before COVID. But this is a hotel. This is a hotel and auditorium district right here. Right here, all it is. Major hotels here. Major, famous hotels. The Hilton, the Palmer House, right? All up and down here, right? Because this is where the major things used to happen. And now you see there's no one here. So you can tell right away when the way a certain person comments that they're not from the city, right? When they say, oh, it's 5 o'clock, See that place is closed there, that whole thing. This is, I think this is the Symphony area here. I think this is Symphony Hall right here. And that's the Symphony. I mean, they don't even have their Christmas stuff. They always used to have Christmas stuff. Right there. Orchestra Hall. See that? That's Orchestra Hall here. It hasn't been open for a week or two that I've noticed. Usually they have the Christmas. What's the famous, there's a famous Christmas concert people have, right here. I'm live feeding on Twitter there too. See that there? There's no one here. It's not functioning, right? It's not open. They don't even have the annual Christmas whatever symphony, right? It's not there, right? If you would see it, you'd see it already starting. You'd see cars here, valets, and all of that stuff, right? You don't see anything here, right? That whole corner is shut down. The corner across the street, so both corners. There's only 2 corners on this intersection, so it's 100% vacant here. See that there? It's 100% vacant. Both corners, right? Look at that whole half a block, right? See that there? That's a hotel. We got the Blackstone Hotel. All these hotels had little auditoriums in there because they used to have things in here, right? We were the convention capital at one time. We've had multiple presidential conventions. There's another corner. So what do we got? Every corner is abandoned, right? We had those 2 corners that were abandoned. This corner is abandoned. So what do we got? Everything is, all the corner spaces are messed up, right? There's one that's open, and that sushi joint. It's so-so. I've been there already. But the point I'm trying to make here is this was the place to have something in the old days. And you can say, oh, you're old-fashioned. You don't know what you're talking about. You want to go back to olden days. No, I don't. I don't like the olden days. I like the modern days. A fine arts building right here. I think this is the one that had the biggest theater at one time. Right in here. That old Roosevelt University. Inside here, there's a big theater in here. A huge theater in there. Like 4,000 seats. It was the biggest one at the time when it was built. There was a presidential convention right in that building right there. You got the Congress Plaza Hotel. See that there? And you don't see anybody around, right? If it was busy right now, you would see a lot of cars around here, right? You don't see any cars. You don't see anybody here. You don't see no doorman. You don't see no whistling the taxis or anything like that. You don't see nobody inside the hotel. Don't you see there's no movement in that hotel there. That's right. You don't see it, right? That's the Congress. There's the Palmer House. There's the Hiltons. There's all kinds of hotels up and down this strip here. Again, they all have theaters. There's theaters on these side streets. There's clubs on these side streets. There's all of that stuff, right? Somebody mentioned, oh, that's Columbia College. It's closed. I'm like, huh? What are you talking about? What is that? That's one thing. That's not the strip here. There's the Blackstone Hotel, right? See that? Not even the stores are open. See that? Those stores are closed, right? Or that's the Columbia College. I don't know what that is there. There's the Hilton. There's a couple of taxis here, but there ain't nobody here. See that there? See that? There ain't nobody here. There's no one here. There's no movement, right? There's nothing. Don't you see that? It's completely empty. See that there? There's no people walking. Now we're going to go on stage. So you were on Michigan Avenue. There was a little bit of movement there. I would say Michigan Avenue was about 20 to 30% about capacity. Here, this is less than 10%. It might even be less than 10%. This might be at 5% capacity. It might even be less than that. We're no more than 10% here. I don't even think we're at 10%. Look, here. See that block there? There's 0 people. There's no one on that block. Now there's that lady in the white there. That's 1 person on the block. 1 out of a whole city block. There's no one all the way down there. If you take this all the way down, there's no one walking there, right? The person going in and out of the hotel or whatever that is, that's a hotel, I think, right there, right? This is the Mandarin, right? All these are hotels here. These are hotels. This is not the business area. That's why I said Chicago's Loop has multiple functions. So when somebody says, oh, it's the college, oh, it's the business, they're lying, right? They're lying. It's straight, that's a lie, right? Chicago's downtown has always had multiple functions. It was open 7 days a week, 24/7. That's what it was. Even the businesses were open like that. Some of them, right? And there's all kinds of hotels here now, right? And different things. Right? There you go. That whole corner here. This is all empty. See, here's another corner that's empty. See that there? There's that baguette plate, right? There ain't nobody in there drinking no coffee. See that there? So the point I'm trying to make is this. Is we have to analyze why that's happening. Is it a Chicago problem? Is it a United States problem? Is it a world problem? What is kind of a problem it is? It's two parts, right? There's local politics and then there's global politics and economy, right? Some of this is part of that global economy, right? That we have to deal with. Right, so now we're gonna go on to State Street, right? That's where we're on Roosevelt now. We're gonna go Aurelio's Pizza close. Think about it. You're right here on the corner of a major tourist area, right? Roosevelt and Michigan Avenue. It's the gateway to the museum campus. It's the gateway to North Michigan Avenue. It's the gateway to the South Loop. There's tons of bars. There used to be bars down in here on the South Loop. There's tons of stuff here. It's the gateway into the downtown area, and Aurelio's is closed. They couldn't make it. A pizza joint can't make it here. That's Aurelio's. Used to be there, right? There you go. You have some people here, but there ain't nobody walking here. Trader Joe's, right? We're going to go through here. We're going to zigzag through the Jewel here. So that's what we have to start analyzing. And here's the problem. When you have people who lie and say, oh, it's 9 to 5, it's this, it's the wind, it's the COVID, it's the cold, it's the this, or it's the work from home day, whatever they say, that don't help the matter, right? What we have to do is be adults. We have to be honest. If we love Chicago, if we love Illinois, we love Cook County, we love the United States of America, then what we need to do is be honest with each other, right? We need to say what we see, and then talk about what it is that we see, and then we should start discussing ideas on how to fix it. I've been clear on my personal ideas, our editorial stances on crime, our editorial stances on welfare, on taxation. I have a 5-point plan pointed out about the loop. It should be a tax-free zone. You eliminate all taxes in the loop. You see how it'll be populated. You eliminate all taxes in the loop. City, county, and state. Eliminate fees. You say, well, how are we going to make money? How you make money is you bring money in. Right now you're chasing money out. What you do is you make it a tax-free zone, and then people will come in to spend their money. Put up casinos. I could care less what you want to do. I don't have the ideas for the businesses, right? I'm not a businessman, right? The only business I have is SubX.News, and I don't even make money off of that. So I'm not that good of a businessman. You kind of get what I'm saying? So the idea that I'm saying is, what I know is if you're charging too much, which is taxes, right? They chase the drug dealers out of here, right? This is a big drug pit here, right? Dope dealing. They got a bunch of the county cars here, right? You see that there? There they go, right? See the county cops right there. There we go. They might be going out on things. So that if you make it a tax-free zone and you say, look, if you open up a business in the loop inside of downtown, you cordon off the area, right? You make it a zone, whatever. And you say you don't have to pay taxes for 5 or 10 years, right? And that's it. Fees. You make a fast track to get a business license, not illegally, right? You don't want them not to have licenses. You don't want to reduce standards, but what you want to do is make it easier for people to come and set up a business, be innovative, where they're not risking $1 million to start a business, where they might be risking just their hard work, right? And inventory. Right now, to set up a store anywhere in downtown Chicago might cost you at least $1 million. I don't know. I'm just talking. How much do you think it costs to set up? If you want to set up a Walgreens there like that, how much you think you need to set that up? I'm not even talking about the building itself. I'm talking about if that Walgreens was empty, how much you think it would cost you just to set up that store there? All the licensing, all the blah, blah, blahs, and all of that. million smacks, I bet you. At least you got to have insurances, deliveries, and all of that stuff, right? And then since you're in a certain area, you have to have certain labor laws here, right? And all of this, which it's good. There's nothing wrong with having prevailing wages and all of that stuff. But, and I'm not talking about being union busters or scabs here. I'm talking about setting up a system where if you come into downtown Chicago and you want to set your stuff up, there's another place empty. There's another place empty, right? I mean, there's a ton of places empty here, right? I don't know what this guy is doing here. There's some cop activity there. They're searching that guy right there. That's the sheriff's there. See that there? They're searching his car for drugs, huh? Let's go right here. See that there? They're searching his car for drugs. Right? And then you have to have a crime-free zone, right? You have to have good law enforcement. There you go. They're searching that guy's car for something there. There you go. See that there? We're down. And then you got to ask yourself, why are the sheriffs doing the jobs of the Chicago Police Department? See that there? Those are Cook County sheriffs, right? There you go. So you had that one, make it cheap so businesses come here. The second, it has to be safe. You can't have people getting robbed and murdered as they're coming here. You can't have that. Robbery and murder is bad for business. It's not conducive to business environment. SubX.News on the spot reporting. It's 4:13 p.m. We're at State Street and 11th Street here in the South Loop of Chicago. You see there's a guy pulled over there. The Cook County sheriffs are looking through his car right there, right? They're searching him here. This is Chicago. We're inside of Chicago, but you have the Cook County sheriff. I don't know what they're doing. They're doing traffic stops or what it is, right? But that's what you see there, right? SubX.News on the spot reporting. It's Christmas Eve. It's 4:13. Merry Christmas to everybody, or Merry Christmas Eve, wherever you want to say it. It's already Christmas in some places, so and it's safe to say Merry Christmas, right? We were just talking earlier. I'm live feeding on Facebook that downtown is completely abandoned and empty today. And it's kind of sad because downtown at one time was a retail area, right? It was a retail mecca, right? It kind of pushed the envelope on retail, and it was one of the first places with department stores, and it was exported out. The idea of department stores was developed here, multi-layered, multi-floored, multi-merchandise department stores. Was one of the ideas was. It was made here by Marshall Fields, right? And people copied it, right? People copied a lot of the ideas that came out of Chicago, niche stores, right? So it's kind of sad to see on a Christmas Eve that you don't see no people here, right? And people say, well, it's Christmas Eve, John. People don't go out alone. Yeah, that's not how Chicago was, because there were shows here. There was to go out to eat. People come out here for Christmas dinners. People would rent hotels. We're just talking about Michigan Avenue, the hotel district. People will rent a hotel room and just hang out in downtown. You'd get a dinner. You'd go see a show. You'd exchange some gifts. They'd have gift exchange things at the hotels. They'd have big Christmas trees, all these kinds of things. There'd be company parties, right? So there you go. They're letting that guy go, it looks like, right? Again, we're in the South Loop, right? That guy's all cleared up. Let's get going, right? SubX.News. There you go. They let that guy go, right? So now we're going north. We're going northbound on State Street from Roosevelt. So we're in the Mag Mile. We started out at Oak Street and took Michigan all the way down to Roosevelt. So we went from the Mag Mile area north of the river, south of the river, into the South Loop. And now we're going from the South Loop north into State Street. So that's, you're seeing the whole downtown. You're seeing everybody. I don't think we've counted 1,000 people yet. I'll be honest with you. I don't think we've even counted 1,000 people today. I wouldn't even say we counted it. We might be lucky we got up to about 400 or 500, maybe, but I don't even think we even got up. We might not even be at 500 people yet that I've seen in. We might be close to 1,000 because of what we've seen on Michigan Avenue, but I don't think so, because then this negates that. You see that there's no one down here. This was a club area down here. South Loop was famous for clubs and bars. Right. So that's what was down here, right? I don't know. I'm just talking about my historical perspective of what I remember from down here. I mean, I've been coming to downtown since the 70s, so I've pretty much seen its transformation from whatever it was to whatever, right? I mean, I've seen the good, bad, and the ugly, and I don't know, I think it's worse now. I've never had a problem with crime in downtown. It's bad in downtown now. Cook County Sheriff's pulled somebody over and checking his car for contraband over here in the South Loop. So now we're getting into downtown Loop proper.
Yep, that is 07436 and 074.
It's 4:18 p.m. Christmas Eve. People are working, by the way. Not everybody has Christmas Eve off. Those are mostly government workers and people who have nice bargaining contracts, right?
Elbow, please. Should have a white Lincoln MKX installed in the left lane.
So that's a misnomer to think everybody has Christmas Eve off. They don't. Now you see, there's no one you haven't seen, how many people have you seen walking so far? I don't see any. There's one guy on a bicycle there. So we can probably count all the people on one hand out here. So again, now we're going north. This used to be Congress. It's now called Ida B. Wells. We're going into the loop now, right? From the South Loop, we're going into the loop, and we're going north on State Street. As you see, there's no one here. Zero. What's that? 1, 2, 3 people. On the other side, there's nobody there. So we have 3 people in the whole block. So 3 people we counted so far, right? There's no one on that side. Was there 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? There's some guys hanging by the subway there. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We got about 12 people on the next block. So we had 1 person here. So we got 13 people within a 2-block area. We have 13 total people within 2 blocks. 2 full blocks, both sides. 13 people total. 13. So let's count the next block now. So this is the 3rd block, right? So we got 1 there, that's 14. 2 people over there, that's 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. That's 20 people so far, up to there, right? That's 20 people. You got 2 over there, that's 22, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 32 people for 3 blocks. Now you have 5 there, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So that's 52. You got there, that's 54, 57, 58. You got about 10 people there, 68, 69, 70, 71. You got about 71 people in the 4-block, both sides areas. I'll give it 80 if I miscounted, but we don't even have 80 people within 4 blocks. 80 people within 4 blocks. 80, that don't fill a bus.
3118 Westlake, 3118 Westlake at the townhouse. Greta says she was physically assaulted and robbed of a cell phone by a male black who fled in a white Chevy sedan. She declined EMS. I have nothing further on it. 12th District, Home 3.
And I'm being generous because I'm counting the people as they walk. They can be walking the next block, right?
Yeah, can I order up an emergency reload for this disabled vehicle at Crane?
So we're up to about the 80 people, right?
Reload on the Lakeshore Drive.
Alright, 554 South Lakeshore Drive, South now. What kind of car?
The Lincoln MKX, tan and color.
So we got about 80. Let's add another 10 that walked on the side streets there. So we're about 90, right? We're about 90. We'll give it 100. We'll give it 100 people. 100 people within a 4-block area. Both sides of the street, 100. That double-decker bus there, that double-wide bus, that double-long bus, that carries more than the people we just seen. We got 100 people in 4-block area. That's it. On State Street. Come out from Ida B. Wells up to Monroe. We counted 100 people. Now we're going to count a little bit more, and we're going to double count because these people keep walking. Well, we'll give it. Look, it's called margin of errors, right? So we're at 100. We'll say we're at 100. Let's say we're at even 100 for 4 blocks. Now north of Monroe, now we're going to start counting again. I see about 15 people on that side so far up until that Foot Locker. I see 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So we're at about 20, 25 people here, right? So we're at 25 people halfway through the block. Then we got another 5 up there. That's 30. We got about another 5 there. That's 35, right? Then we got what? I say about 4 or 5 up there by that subway on the left side, and we got maybe about 8 or 9 over there. So what are we at about? We'll say we're at about, I don't even say we have 50 here. I would say no more than 45 here, right? 45 on this block. So we're at what? I said 100 and 145. So we're at 145 in 5 blocks. 5 total blocks with 145 people. Does that sound normal to you? You think that's a lot of people? 145 people for 4 or 5 blocks. That's where we're at so far. We're at 145 people. That's it. You can count them. You got the videos. You can count them yourself. With the Twitter feed, I'm sorry you can't see the sides, but you can maybe count. But with the Facebook, I got it on landscape. On Twitter, it has to be portrait style, right? So we're at about 145 people within a 5-block area. We'll give it another 5 here, so we'll give you 150 people, right? We'll give you 150 people. Right? Now we're getting up to the busier section here, right? Because it's got this traffic thing. And you see these double-wide long buses, they're causing the traffic jam. Didn't you see that? See what's causing the traffic jam up there? Remember, we're at about 150 right now, right? That's where we're at. So far, we counted 150 people from Ida B. Wells up until Monroe on both sides of the block. 4:20 p.m., December 24th, 2025. State Street. Where we at? 150, right? Don't forget counting, right? We're counting, right? So let's add another 50. So we're at 200, let's say. I doubt it though. We'll give you 200 right now. We'll do 200 up until what's this? Is this Madison yet, or is this Adams up here? I don't know what this is up here. We'll give it to 200, right? Oh, We'll go up to 200. Let's say up to 200. We're at Madison. We'll make it 200. I doubt it. I don't think I counted 200. You guys count 200 people yet? I haven't. We'll give it 200 though. We'll round up, right? And when you're counting people, that's what you do, right? And you can go back to your video and you can count it on the video. You can count the individuals on the videos, and you can count there's software actually that'll count out the doubles and all of that stuff. There's all kinds of fancy software right now. We're gonna do 200 up until Madison. Because remember, the people are moving. I've already double counted a couple of groups of people that have been moving north. These people that are walking past us going north, we've already counted them behind us. And I recounted them, so that's why I said, I'll give it an even 200. So you don't say I'm lowballing it or something like that. I don't want people to say I'm making stuff up, right? Alright, let's see if we can get... Oh man, there's cops behind me, right? See the buses? The buses are the one that are causing... Look at all those buses. That's an empty bus there, and it's causing the traffic jams here. These buses are the ones that are causing the traffic jams out here, right? So where are we at? We're at 200, right? So I want to go straight, right? And then we're going to start counting from Madison North. Then we'll count Madison North. That's what we're going to do now, right? Alright, so there's more. There's maybe about 20 there, right? So 20. Remember, we're at 200. That was 20 on that side. And there ain't that many on there. That's 10. That's 30 over there, right? So we got 10 over there and 20 over there. So we got about 30 people so far, right? And up there's another 5 by the alley there. So that's 25, right? I don't know what's up ahead of me, so we're gonna have to wait until we go past that TJ Maxx over there. I counted up to the TJ Maxx about 25 to 30. We'll give it 30 people. So right now we're at what? 230, right? Up until half of the block, all right? So we're now at, this is the 6th block we're on, right? Alright, so this is the 6th block, then we'll count from halfway up. So we're at what? We'll say 250? But we'll go north of that subway thing, right? Remember, the way you count crowds, it doesn't matter if they pass you, because then the crowd, in a crowded setting, what it is, it's about capacity and it's about density. It's more about density. Blocks are what? You can maybe have on this block 5,000 people if they're crammed in here. We're not even at 50 here. So remember, we're gonna count north of those things. We're at 250 now, right? We're at 250. Remember that. 250. I won't count until we get past these subway things, the entrances. Those are the ones that I have on my video. They were abandoned subway entrances. Why would you abandon a subway entrance? That's a strange thing, don't you think so? So now we're gonna start counting again, right? So we're at 250, right? So now we count again. Remember, these people have been walking, so but we give it there. So on this other side, I see 3, 5, 10, 15 on that side. On this side, I see, on the right side, I see 5, 10. Oh, we got about 30 over here. So we got what? 15 on that side, 30. We'll say 50 this way. So we're at 300, right? Maybe I'll give it 350 with the crosswalk. We're at 350 coming up to, where are we at? I don't know what street this is. Is this Adams now? I don't know. So we'll give it up to 350 up to here, okay? We're at 350 now, right? We're at 350 here. No more, because we're double counting. Don't forget, we're double counting. I'm doing this on purpose. So we're at 350, and we're going to start counting again north of Washington, right?
What's that blue one called? Can you get that rail car number again?
Counted no more than 350 people from Ida B. Wells up till Washington. State Street, both sides. There you go, man. That's the gorilla, man. So you see the gorilla over there? Look at that guy. Hey, what's up, gorilla? There you go. Look at that guy over there. See him right over there? He dances and stuff, man. You watch for that guy. He's pretty funny. We might be at about 400 now with the people in the crosswalk. $4:30 p.m., December 24th, 2025. So where are we at? Now we cut what we said. We'll make it 400. We'll make it an even 400. Up until Washington, we'll make it 400. All right. So now let's start counting more here. Right. There we go. And let's start counting. There's what? 20. On the other side, you got another 20, 30. So we're gonna say 50 up until here. I'll say 60 until here. 30 and 30 on both sides. There's no 30s on both sides. There's no people here. 60's too much, but we'll say 60 up until here. So we got 460 until the middle of this block here, okay? 460. Remember, you look at density. This is how you do crowds. I'm showing you guys how to do this. So you can count it by hand. I don't care. We're at 460 up until the middle. Then when we get up to that sign there, we'll count the next group, right? But look, I just gave you guys 60 people. There is nobody here. And those people aren't moving. See that? There's no one there. There's no one there. So I'm giving you 60. And then we'll count from north of that bus there, right? So we're at 460 right now. 460. So we're not even at 1,000 yet. Think about it. We're not at 1,000 people. We're not even close to 1,000. Not even close to it. Remember, there's people walking and we're double counting them. These used to be 5 to 6 deep, these windows. On this day, yesterday, tomorrow, these windows were 5 to 6 deep. See those windows there? These are the Marshall Field windows. They were 5 to 6 people deep. You couldn't get to them. You couldn't get to those windows. Everybody knows that. They've been down here. So we're at 460, didn't we say that? So now we're gonna start counting when we get to wherever, right? In front of that whatever that is, that charger. We'll start counting passes. See that there? There's no one on that side there. There's no one. So we're gonna count, what are those? 5, 4, 6 people right there. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Let's say 11 people on that side. So we're at 471, right? Right, we're at 471. Now we're gonna count this way, right? Again, we're counting double people here. I would say there's 30 there, so that's 501, right? 500 right now. We're at 500. Let's give it that. 500 up until this spot. When we get in front of that bus there, then we're gonna count again. But again, think about it. How generous I'm being. We're double counting, triple counting some of these people. But you can see. Look, you can see for yourself. There's no one here. There's no one here. Zero. There's no one on that block. That's the main block. The Gallery 37 block is the main block. It's the newest shopping area. There's no one there. Look, there's no one walking. How many minutes did you watch until you seen somebody walking there? There's no one walking there. These buses are completely empty. Again, that's Marshall Fields. Those used to be 5 deep on those windows. 5 deep. You'd have to wait sometimes, what, half hour? 30, 40 minutes just to get to each window. Each window. That's how it was down here. That's how crowded it used to be down here. Everybody knows that. If you know Chicago, you know what I'm talking. Now you're going to say, well, those were the blah, blah, the good old days or whatever. No. I'm talking about capacity, density now. And that's what? Related to revenue, right? That's how you want people in your downtown. So you get their money. That's the point. So where are we at? We're at 500, right? We're at 500, right? We're gonna start counting when we get to that tree over there. But again, we're double counting. You see, there ain't nobody on that side. You see that, right? I mean, sorry, Twitter guys. There you go, man. There ain't nobody on. There's no one on that other side there. And no one. Where are we at? 500, 501, right? So we'll start counting when we go up to like where that space is there, right? So now we count again, right? So we got, there's no one on the other side. I'll give you 10 on the other side. On this side, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 20 over here. I said 10 over there. 30. We'll count the crosswalk. We'll give you 40 here. So we're at what? 540? We'll give it to 550. How about we just say 550, right? Because of the crosswalks. There's some people walking over there. There's some. Let's say 550, but I doubt it. Let's say 550 up until, where are we at? Randolph, right? There's no one here, right? There's a camera guy. There ain't nobody here to take pictures of. 550 up until Randolph, right? $550 until Randolph from Ida B. Wells. 4:38 p.m. December 24, 2025. There's a lot of people here. I'll give you 100 there. I'll give you right on there. Maybe another 50 there. I'll give you 150 here. So we're at 700. Now there's a lot more people over here. I'll give you another 200 over here. We're at 900. We're at 900. I'll give you that ain't 200 people there. I'll give you 900 because they're all going into that place. And then those people in the crosswalk, maybe another 100. So we're maybe at about 1,000. I doubt it. We're at 1,000. I'll give you 1,000 people up until Lake Street. What do you got here? You ain't even got 20 people there. So you got 1,020 people going all the way from Ida B. Wells to Wacker. That's what you got. 1,020. We'll give it about 1,000. We'll give it 1,100 people counted from Ida B. Wells to Lake Street, both sides of the state. 4:40 p.m. December 24th, 2025. So 1,100 people. You see, there ain't nobody walking here. What is there? Remember, we double counted, so we were generous there. I don't think we were even at 1,000. I don't think at the end when we're up that Chicago theater, there might have been 300-400 people there, maybe. So yeah, we're close to 1,000. We're close, but I doubt it. This is completely empty here. There ain't no one here. And no, what do we count? 30, 40 people here total? I don't know what to say. I've been waiting to do this all year. So that's what we got. Yeah, I don't know, Trina. Some idiot did that. Some moronic fool. Oh, because they're doing. I think the State Street is related to the Clark, the State and Lake Station is getting rebuilt. The State, Lake, Clark Station, that's all getting rebuilt. That's that one that's going to be all glass. That whole. It's all going to be modernized. That's because of Google, right? It's coming in. So they're modernizing all of that. State and Lake has no elevators. It's not ADA accessible, right? So you're gonna see real quick. I mean, it's kind of scary here. I don't even know if you would want to bring your family. Here, take a look at this. Would you want to bring your family to something that looks like this? And you're like, well, John, it's Christmas Eve and it's 4:40 p.m. What do you expect, John? Well, no, downtown was packed. See that? Downtown used to be packed. If you were 5 deep on each one of those windows on that whole block, you had thousands and thousands just on one block. Well, you had to park in places, right? Kind of get it? Kind of scary. Look at that. See, it's all abandoned here. See, people come from the suburbs. They come from Kansas. They come from Idaho. They come from Topeka, whatever they come from. I don't know where they're coming from, right? Omaha. And they're used to, like, closed downtowns, right? Well, our downtown isn't like that. We're different, right? It was a 24/7. You see that? Look at all the surface parking. It's all empty. It's completely empty here. That's what I'm trying to say. So we as citizens got to do one thing. This budget is bad for us. The budget that just passed is bad. Why? It didn't do no cuts. It had no cuts and it raised fees. That's what it did. It did two things. We have to cut costs and cut fees. We had to do both. Both. We did neither in this budget. We raised fees and did no cuts, which is bad. That's because an election year is coming, right? People don't want to say they laid off city workers. City workers is a patronage, right? Even on the ward level, right? And people don't lose their jobs and they vote for you. That's the way life goes, right? I mean, it's a fact of life in the city. There's no one here. You don't see no people. Why was there 5 there, 4 there, 10 people? There's another 7, 8 there. There's 4 there. That's 20 people on 20 people. That ain't nothing in the downtown, right? I say it, don't fill a bus. A bus fills what, 40, 50 people? They kick the drug addicts and drug dealers are out from here, from Garvey, right? Now we'll go this way, right? You see that you can see the space, right? You see when it was the holiday seasons in downtown, there'd be no space. You'd be shoulder to shoulder almost, right? Again, what do we have to do? We have to cut costs, cut personnel, and reduce fees, reduce taxes, and entice businesses to come here, right? And the other thing is, you have to tell people like Macy's and all these stores, you gotta put some decorations up, bro. I don't know how you would do that. You can't tell a business what to do, but you gotta have some kind of, yeah, we need to do something different here to bring people into the city, right? We want money. Again, remember, it was a business place, it was a commerce place, it was retail, right? Department stores. It was high-end stores on Jewelers Row, Mag Mile. You had the office workers, you had office workers, and then you had the traders. Those are two different types of employees. See, people confuse these people. When I do the South Loop there by Van Buren, say, oh yeah, those were officers. Those traders weren't office workers. They were trading on the floor. They weren't office workers. I was an office worker. I can tell you what an office worker does. We didn't do trading. Those were two different types of jobs. One was commerce. One was business. Those are two different things. When you're trading on the floor, that's commerce. You're doing business deals. You're not pushing paper. I pushed paper. You push filed paper across the desk. That's different than trading on the floor, right? So we just lost the CME, right? We did that this year. We lost CME. The oldest trading company left Chicago. The oldest one we've ever had, and they made fun of it, right? There you go. You got a bunch of people there. They're going to the parking lot here. Virgin Hotels. See, there's a bunch of people there. That's good. Now we're gonna go down Wabash, Jewelers Row, and we might call it quits then, right? So now this is Jewelers Row. This is where you would figure you'd be packed, because this is where you buy your diamond rings and everything for everybody, right? Jewelers Row, that's what it's called. Diamonds. This was it, right here. This is it, Jewelers Row. Wabash, right? Is that where I'm at? I don't know. I talk so much I forget what I say and where I'm at. So all of those have it's called a cascading effect, right? Look, see, they got a whole bunch of trucks here, right? They're trying to, see, the news trucks are out here. The Starbucks has some people, right? It's not that crowded, right? It's so-so. It's okay. It's good to see that. You still got some seating spaces there, right? But see, there's no one over there on the Marshall Field side there, right? Those are migrants over there, by the way, Mondos. Those delivery guys, those are migrants. Yeah, they're doing the Lake Street Station, rebuilding it. That's what they're doing there, Trina. And then you would have musicians down here. You don't even, I hear one musician here or there, but you don't hear that much, right? A little bit more here. There's parking because people want to go around here. It's by the Marshall Fields, but there ain't really an enticement to see anything here, right? I don't know what you're doing here, my brother. Man, you shouldn't be blocking the streets, dudes. Everybody's scared. They don't want to go in, and they're all bunching up into one spot, man. They're all scared because they don't want to be parking in a block from here because they think they might get jumped or something, right? I guess. I don't know. The guy's selling keychains there, right? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, Trina. What did I just say, Trina? You are a regular Chicagoan. You rented a room. What'd you do? You went out for dinner. You did a little shopping. You looked at the trees. You had fun. It didn't matter. And there, I don't know, we already had Macy's here that didn't have the windows, but you did stuff down here. It was crowded. You went through it. You had fun, right? It was a fun place. And that's the other part of downtown that people don't get. It's a cultural place. It's got monuments here and it's historical. So you have multiple facets of our downtown, right? We have artwork by Picasso here. We have buildings that are from the beginning of the city. The water tower was from when we had the fire. The origins of the city are here, right? You can see certain things so not only is it commerce, business, hotels, entertainment, shows, restaurants. You also have historical stuff. You got the loop above us. You can take the train. You can fool around. There's all these cool things to do down here. So there's a lot of stuff that we have. So what we have to do now is what? If no one's coming here, we have to figure out why aren't they coming here. It's too expensive. I would also cut all the parking, have no parking downtown. Don't pay for any parking. Everything free. A town in Indiana just did that. I don't know if it's Hammond. I don't know if it was Hammond, Gary, one of those towns really close off the border. They eliminated all street parking pay. It's all street parking is free. See, these are the things that we need to think about, right? Look, so they're doing the bike lane thing, right? Where's the bike lane here? You don't see a bike lane at all. Where would the bike lane go here? Think about how the city is managed today. We have all these crazy bike lanes and protests. So now we're driving here, right? Where I'm at. Where would you put the bike lane here? You don't even see it. They have a curb there. If anything, you would put a bike lane right there. But you don't. You kind of get it? None of this is planned out. You got like amateur hour happening. Here's, right? What is this? The Palmer House here? Or what is it? That's the Palmer House, right? See, everybody tells you their stories. Trina just told us a story about her being downtown. It was a place, Miller's Pub. There's places to come here. The Berghoff Restaurant, the Italian Village, Ronnie's Steakhouse, and it was still down here. All these cool spots. It was an experience to come here. Now people talk about 9 to 5. Oh, you go there. That's not what Chicago downtown was. So that's the other part of downtown that people don't talk about. Especially if you're not from Chicago, you don't even understand that concept. You don't even get that. Look, I'll say this, and I don't think I've ever told this to anybody yet. My father worked for a company called W.F. Hall's Company. They used to print Playboy and all those pocket books. Remember those little books we used to have? Now we use our iPads and pads to read. But remember in the old days we had pocket books. Remember those pocket books? Because they would fit in your pocket. Those were your iPhones. Those were your phones that you used to read. Remember those books? Those little books fit in your back pocket. Remember those? Well, my dad's company, W.F. Hall's, used to print those. They were out west on Diversey by Diversey and is it Knox over there in that whole industrial area there? There's a couple of his factories. His factories were like 5 blocks long over there. And I've never told this to anybody. And so this is the first time I'm telling this on the live feed. And they won't hear it because people do certain things. Well, W.F. Hall's used to have their Christmas party for all their employees. And they used to have 4,000 or 5,000 employees at the Medina Temple, where the Bally's is at. That's how I know that area. And we used to go there every year for the company. It was a company show and company food, and they gave every family and every kids gifts. So you got gifts, you seen a show, and you got fed. And then we would go on to State Street. We would go on to Michigan Avenue. We couldn't afford Michigan Avenue, so we walked from the Medina Temple. We walked down to State Street. That's how we did it. And we spent the whole day down here. A whole day. I don't even remember which day that was. I'd have to talk to my mom if she remembers which days was it. Was it the weekends, weekdays? Well, it was this week. It was the Christmas week, right? Whatever it was. And everybody was down there. So imagine you had one company, WF Halls, that had 4,000 people that all were here. And they had rolling shows. You couldn't fit all of us. I don't know if all of us were in one show or they had two shows. I don't remember that. They had all kinds of, they had Bozo there. They had all that. They had all kinds of stuff inside the show, right? They had singers. They had acrobats. They had all of that stuff. So that's how I know downtown. So I've been coming to downtown since I've been, I don't know, kindergarten. And then the last I was in downtown, I worked at downtown. I worked at the Merchandise Mart, and now I come down to downtown for the last 3 years. So I've been in downtown basically all my life. Whether I've been a kid, whether I went to school here, whether I had a job here, or whether now I'm doing reporting from here. So I know downtown, and every company used to do that. Every company used to. The Eastland disaster. Everybody knows the Eastland, the tragic Eastland disaster where all those people died, right? That boat thing. That was the Westinghouse employees. I think that was, I don't know if it was what holiday outing it was. It was a holiday outing. Companies used to have their things in downtown. Parties downtown. We just talked about that. The businesses that used to have business office workers in downtown, their parties were Fridays. The last Friday. There you go. You got these guys sleeping out here, right? That's what you got. So I know downtown since I was maybe 5, and I'm 57. So that's what, 52 years that I've been coming here. I understand what I've seen. It's gone up. It's gone down, right? Right? What's up, my brother? You want a coffee or something? What do you want? I'll stop somewhere at a Dunkin' Donuts or something. What do you want, my brother?
I'm at home.
What do you want? What do you want? What do you want to eat? I ain't got that much money, but
honestly, just make you some chicken and fries.
Where's there a chicken joint around here?
Yeah, well, it's a hamburger place right here on this corner.
Where at? Over there?
Yeah.
Cause I'm getting hungry too. I might stop and I'll see you.
You know, or some Chinese food. Chinese food is right here.
Chinese.
All Pan is right around the corner.
All Pan?
Yeah.
How about if I go, where's the McDonald's? Why don't I go to the McDonald's on King Drive?
That's beautiful.
And then I'll get, how about what do you want from there? What do you like from McDonald's?
They got 2 for $2 for cheeseburger.
2 for $2 cheeseburger, get you the whole meal? And with a soda?
You got it.
What kind of soda you drink?
Sprite.
Sprite? I'll get you. I'll be back. John, we know each other, man. Mike, right?
Yeah.
We met before. I'll be back. Mike, give me a few minutes, all right?
All right, you got it.
Chicken, right? The double chicken, right?
Yeah.
All right, with Sprite, right?
Yeah.
All right, brother. So, that's how I know downtown. I was a kid that came here with my dad every winter. It was every Christmas. We came down here to the Medina Temple. And again, this is the first time I'm telling this story on this platform. I've never told that story to anybody, right? So I get abused, I get maligned, I get these Wheatons and these wherever, Napervilles, you don't know what you're talking about, it's closed, blah, 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 blah. There used to be Burger King behind me, right? Jones College Prep. The Burger King was behind me, right? There's a Burger King behind me. Everybody knows there was a Burger King over here, right? There, you know, there was a Burger King on this block, right? Pacific Garden Mission used to be right there. Does everybody know that one? Yeah. That's how far back I go. So I used to come here as a kid, see the Christmas shows. So that's how I know downtown. That's how I know State Street. That's how I know how crowded it used to be. I've come downtown with my own children, and that's, what, 20... My kids are 25 now. 5 years old. I was 5 till I had my kids. I don't know. I can't do all that crazy math. That's crazy math, right? So say I was bringing my kids down here when they were 5 years old. That's like I came, right? They're 20, so that's 20 years ago. My oldest is 25. So 20 years ago, which is what? That would put us in the early 2000s. I was just talking to my kids this morning. And my wife. I said, we used to go downtown, didn't we? And they said, yeah. So we're talking about the 2000s. And I said, they were packed, the windows. They said, yeah, we had to wait to see the show and they still had, I think at that time it was still the Marshall Fields show. I don't know if it was or not. I know Macy's tried to keep doing it, but then they fell off. So my own children that are in their 20s remember downtown. And we used to spend the whole day here. I think we went to the Kris Kringle Fest, right? We got the Wiener Schnitzels. We went into Marshall Fields. I would go up to the Walnut Room, show them the tree. I could never get a reservation. I mean, to get the Walnut Room, you have to have like a 6-month or a year reservation, I think. I think that's how that works. But we went into Marshall Fields. We'd go over to, we'd walk the whole downtown. We'd go all the way to the water tower. We'd start around here. We go all the way to the water tower, go up into each of the malls, each of these stores, and just have fun. It was nothing. There was no reason to it. It was just to have fun and be downtown and be around people. You're doing the same stuff. And I don't know when we came down. It might have been today. Christmas Eve, it might have been yesterday, it might have been tomorrow. I don't know which days it was that we used to come down here. So, I'm not saying I'm an expert with downtown. I'm far from knowing everything. But I guess what I want to say is this. I have experience in my 55 years living in Chicago of different times of being in Chicago as a child, which was in the 70s. In the 80s, I used to go to school at Loop College, which is Harold Washington College now. I went a little bit in downtown in the 90s, and then I stopped a little bit. And then I started to go back to Harold Washington College to finish off my associate's degree, because I didn't finish it. And then now that was in the 90s I finished it. I got my associate's degree in 96 maybe, 97, I don't remember. We're going down to the McDonald's down there, by the way. And then I worked at the merchandise mart at the teachers union. And now I do this, right? And my wife was worked downtown and she works in downtown now, so she knows downtown too. So I know a little bit about downtown in the different ways. I remember when they put the mall here and you couldn't drive here. I remember that. I mean, I didn't drive a car at the time. I used to go to the Greyhound station. I liked putting the quarters in and watching the TV over there at the Greyhound station. That was on Randolph. Everybody remembers that? I think it was on Randolph, wasn't it? Right around that area where the Thompson building is now. So I guess what I want to say is this. I'm not dreaming of 1950s. I'm not. It's not what I'm dreaming about. I'm dreaming, how do we go forward? How do we go forward? How do we fix our city so it's, I don't want to use the word great again. No. That it's better than it was. It's better. That's what I want to do. I want to be part of that, right? So again, we have to reduce costs and get revenue. That's the only way we're going to fix downtown. Increasing taxes, increasing fees, not firing people that are making too much money. We have aldermanic staff. They're making hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars. We have private companies. I just seen some guy was making some money and he's owes in debt. I just reposted on Twitter. Do you know the mayor's in debt? The mayor hasn't even paid his bills yet. He's got a water bill he's paying. He owes $6,000 in water bills. Like, you're making $150,000 or $200,000 a year and you can't pay your damn water bill, bro? What a deadbeat. That's not how we go forward. That's not how we go forward as a city. If you don't have the money, declare bankruptcy, go defunct, make it, and then be done. So what we need to do is figure out how to get rid of deadbeats. Get rid of your debt. I'm in debt. Right now I'm making a deal with a company, with a credit card company. I got to come up with a bunch of money in a week or two. A lot of money I got to come up with. I'm paying off one of my credit cards now. It is what it is, but I'm making a deal with them to pay it off. And that's what we need to do to go forward. We need to make deals. We need to make sure that we do the things in our city to make people want to come and make that State Street crowded again. There you go. Right? And you know what's the funniest thing? When everybody says, when the most people that say, oh, you hate Chicago, and I look at where they're from, they're not from Chicago. Like I said, there's 3-4 guys just today on my Twitter account. They're from they weren't even from Chicago. Tell me, oh, you're wrong, and I've been there, and I've been there. Well, that's why, here, I'm gonna say this. I purposefully did what I did today on purpose. I've been waiting to do what I did today on purpose. I've been waiting almost a year and a half to 2 years to do this. There's a video I made about 2 years ago that's got about 2 million views now. About downtown. It was after the COVID. I don't know where I was. I was on Monroe, maybe Monroe. I might have been on Monroe, Madison, and Wacker. Upper Wacker over there by I think it was by the Lyric Opera House over there. You know where? Over there in that area? That side, the west side of the loop. Right before you go over into the west loop. Right by where the train tracks are, right before you get to those areas. And I videotaped something. It was really empty. I don't know. I was here for court or something like that. I said, man, it's weird, man. It's empty. There ain't nobody here. And then they may give me all these excuses. COVID, this, that, remote, whatever they did. They're all lies. Just cheating and lying. And then as I started learning that and looking at who was saying what and what it was, I formulated ideas of trying to do things and trying to figure things out. So I'm going to be honest with everybody. What I did today, I've been planning for almost a year and a half to a year. To plan to count how many people are actually out on State Street on Christmas Eve at not dinner time. We weren't here at dinner time, so people will say, oh, you were here at dinner time, blah, 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 blah. But actually, that's when we used to come out. Trina will tell you were out here for dinner, right? The lights, the nighttime. That's the point. See, when people tell you it's 5 or 6 o'clock, no one's there, you know they're not from Chicago. You came to downtown to see the lights, to see the shows, to see the cool stuff, right? It was the cool place to be. So that's what I want to say. So this is what I'm going to do. I've been talking a lot. My throat is super dry. I'm right about to go to the McDonald's and get this food for this guy. What's his name? Mike? I think his name was Mike, right? He wanted a Sprite and chicken, the double chicken, right? That's what I'm getting him. I appreciate everybody watching. Thank everybody watching. Yeah, I'm just gonna go. I'm going to the McDonald's over here. There's a McDonald's right here. And I don't know. Maybe I'll interview him and we'll talk. Maybe not. I don't know. But that's what I wanted to do. I appreciate everybody riding along with me. And again, we need to cut costs and cut fees. Fees mean taxes. Cut costs means we need to cut the fat in City Hall. I would say we cut $6 billion out of that budget. I would even be, if I was radical and had my way, I would say 50% budget cut. 50%. Cut the budget by 50%. And just make tax-free zones. That's it. And just, look, is it going to be easy? Or is there going to be some pain? Absolutely. Absolutely there'll be painful. We might lose some services. I don't know. We might not. I don't know. I can't tell you that. I've never ran a city, and I don't plan on running a city. I'm just telling you my ideas of how to entice business and how to spur stuff happening in our city. All right, I'm going to go hit this McDonald's. It's 5:11 p.m. December 24th. It's Christmas Eve. Santa's coming. You better be ready, because he's coming down your chimney. He's got some gifts for you. Now, you've been naughty. You ain't getting nothing. That's all I gotta say. Hey, you can't be good and bad no more. That's it. Today is over with. That was last night. You had to do your good deeds yesterday. Today he's already on the road. He ain't doing changing his list. So I appreciate everybody watching. Have a good night. Merry Christmas. We'll talk to you later. I don't even know how to turn this thing off anymore. There's the button right there. I'm going to shoot this button. Thank you for watching. 5:11 p.m. December 24, 2025. SubX.News signing off. Have a great Christmas. Good night.